All right, tonight we begin our series on health inspections in two major counties in Western Oregon.
Yeah, when you think of health inspections, the first thing that might come to your mind is probably restaurants, but our health inspectors have a lot more on their plates than you might think. KEZI 9 News reporter Jennifer Richardson joins us with more on her first in-depth report inside the inspection.
Well, in the last few years, mobile food trucks have exploded onto the scene, offering quick cuisine for those on the go. This new form of dining, though, comes with a number of challenges. We tagged along to see what it takes to keep up to code.
The dining landscape is changing as more and more people invest in work on wheels. And for the foodie, mobile food trucks are becoming a dining do.
It's a really interesting in-between between like going to a fast food restaurant or a sit-down restaurant.
These meals on the move may seem simple to operate, but that's not the reality.
People who get into the mobile food unit business, within a year, they're either figured out how to establish themselves or they're gone.
Zach Manning is Lane County Health Inspector. He's tasked with a percentage of the annual inspections of the more than 100 trucks that fill the landscape of Lane County.
There isn't any difference between a food truck inspection and a restaurant inspection. All the same rules apply.
Mobile unit operators must go through a plan review, get licensed, have a pre-opening inspection, then get 2 semi-annual inspections. There are 3 types of violations, and inspectors can close a unit if it's not up to code. We followed Manning on 2 of his most recent inspections.
Morning, Grace. Good morning. I'm with Lane County Department of Environmental Health.
First stop, Cousin Jack's Pasty Company in Kesey Square. Manning has a checklist, and right off the bat, a big violation.
I see here that your hand wash sink, is it not working? Is it broken?
Our pump is currently a little bit broken. We haven't been able to fix it quite yet.
Not being able to properly wash your hands had Manning waving a red flag.
This is definitely one of the bigger violations that we've had. So I'll have to be back to re-inspect this.
Okay.
They were allowed to operate because they did have at least 5 gallons of water for hand washing. Next comes temperatures. If food trucks are holding hot foods, they must be above 165 degrees. Cold?
It is required to be below 41 degrees.
All of the units measured correctly. And here's a new rule. It's a requirement to know the 8 major allergens.
What I would do is maybe put a list on the inside of your window. 8 major allergens.
Businesses must have their food handler cards, and you can ask a mobile food truck owner to show you their license at any time. For Cousin Jack's Pasty Company, Manning leaves them with some last words regarding the hand washing station.
And I'll be back to inspect this on Monday to make sure that it is operating. And if it's not, we'll just close the unit down until it is.
For me, I feel good knowing that we're up to code and following and taking care of our customers.
For the most part, Manning says the food truck's owners work with them on violations. But there is a dark side of this business. Sometimes trucks roll on down the road when faced with serious violations.
Well, they go mobile or they go dormant. And then eventually what we do is if they go dormant for 6 months and they say they're not operating the next year, we will not license them.
And unlike restaurants, turnover can sometimes mean trouble.
So they'll buy an old mobile food unit that's gone through many different hands. And so they're thinking, I got something that was approved. Well, it was approved 3 years ago and the rules have changed and their mobile food unit is no longer acceptable.
Well, it's pretty hard to miss this food truck. It's kind of the palace of mobile diners. Zingaro serves up mostly burgers and hot dogs, and our second inspection stop.
I'm here to do a health inspection.
Hand washing, once again, a top priority, including the sick policy.
Remember that they're supposed to stay home 24 hours from the last symptom. Okay.
Manning tested the temps and all were in line, but even the top-of-the-line trucks miss a thing or two.
How long has this sauerkraut been in this container? 3 days? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna need you to date mark.
And Manning is a stickler when it comes to storage.
Obviously, I personally wouldn't store Gatorade next to raw items. Is there a personal spot for your personal items?
All of these violations and recommendations are steps Manning takes to prevent foodborne illnesses. And for the business owners, it would seem they welcome them.
I want to know that I'm not going to get anybody else sick. So the health department does a lot both for the industry and for the consumer.
And for Zingaro,
You did the date marking, you fixed it, great. Get a thermometer, make sure it's at the front.
a tiny glimpse into the food truck frenzy, hoping we might better understand how much those like Manning do to make sure the food that starts here
Definitely below 41 for sure.
and ends up here is not only savory, but safe.
Now, there is a mobile food truck committee the state has actually put together. Basically, they bring up problems with these mobile units, and they're putting together a list of suggestions and recommendations. Manning says hopefully these will be put into effect. And we did check back in with Cousin Jack's Pasty Company, and they have remedied that situation there that you saw.
All right, so what are we going to hit next after the food trucks?
Well, you might not know this, but the health inspectors also inspect the fraternities and sororities on the U of O campus.
boy.
So we're actually going to go inside a sorority and see how they keep the girls safe, who of course are sleeping under one roof, a lot of them.
Wow, that's got to be a task.
Yeah.
Large task. All right,
Yeah.
we look forward to that. Thank you so much. Good stuff.